Okay, we're on YouTube.
Great.
All right. So,
But Cliff,
go ahead.
I was told when you talk about politicians, there are some politicians who make noise. They have not even stepped out of their state. They have not even stepped out of this country. If you watch the interview with, is it Ted Cruz? You are talking about a country like Iran. You have never been there. You don't know the history. You don't know the population. Just tell me, how can those people really work at the international level with people who have vast knowledge of diplomacy? Is that not really something that Americans should also be questioning? Because there are some politicians, just because they come out of Harvard, they come out of Yale, they have not interacted with anyone around the world, but they serve this country at the highest level. Just tell me, what can they really do that would really fit with those people who have traveled and interacted with people from different backgrounds, different cultures? The world is a global village.
True. Well, Ted Cruz spent some time as a kid in Canada, as I recall. But that's almost like
a world traveler.
almost like living in the U.S.
Yeah,
except
politicians
no
like
First
to talk
Amendment.
out their backside. And I look at, we have in the media age, we can see what's going on, but I kind of relate that a little bit too to when people in Massachusetts or in southern states criticize California or Chicago or places they've never been to and say, oh, it's a can I say shithole at 6:30 in the morning?
Yeah,
And they've never
but you
been.
can.
All right, I already did. But they've never been there, and they just see what they're told or what they see in film. I mean, I've talked to people out in California in certain parts, and they say so much. A lot of it is true, but a lot of it's overblown. The state's not overrun with liberals and violence, and it's.
Well, it's not the liberals in California, it's the progressives.
Well, yeah, there is a difference, but a lot of times they're painted with a broad brush. I mean,
Yeah.
liberals are identified as woke or progressive, and not all liberals are, just like not all Republicans are, wacky MAGA Republicans that, defend Donald Trump when they're told to, so.
So I've got 2 points on this. The first was I ran into a nurse over the weekend who's from Bemenda, and she didn't know Fru's name. I was shocked. So,
That's just because you live in a pigeonhole.
well, I do live in a pigeonhole. What can I say? And the second thing is, I think it was last weekend, I ran into an immigrant from France whose parents are from Cote d'Ivoire. And I asked about becoming a U.S. citizen, and she said, sort of voco, she was quietly saying this. She was applying while she lived in New York and while she lived in Florida, and she said she got a lot more help from Republican representatives' offices than she did from Democrat. And I thought that was a terrible indictment.
You're a Republican, Cliff.
What can I say?
What can you
A
say?
liberal Republican, so he claims to be.
So I'm curious, because I remember when I was 20, 19, 18, 19, 20, we used to go to Canada all the time. And you really didn't need anything besides going through the border to show your license, maybe your birth certificate.
Yeah.
But when did the rules get stricter in Canada that now you need a passport and it's more, the rules are enforced, or, maybe since?
I think you've needed a passport, at least when I went to Canada in the early 2000s, me and a bunch of friends would go we'd go watch the Patriots play in Buffalo, but we'd stay on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. And I believe at that time we did need a passport, but we would go through the checkpoint. They'd basically say, "What are you here for?" And we'd say, "Well, we're going to the Patriots game in Buffalo, and we're up here to go to the casinos, and we have a hotel or whatever." And they'd say, "All right, have a good time," and let you in. So I don't know if it's gotten much stricter than that, but I mean, the key thing is you do need a passport.
Every time I'm on the show and we start talking international, I realize I need to get a passport. It's something I've never had because, so I know I got into Canada without a passport.
Yeah.
In, 99, 2000,
Right.
98. We went there for a DECA conference one year. So I'm just wondering, Mike, do you know when they started to require passports to go to Canada? Or would it just be a real ID that you need now, actually?
You have a number of options to go to Canada. You can use a real ID. I mean, in the past, you just showed your driver's license.
Right.
But now, you have to show, you can use a real ID license or identification. You can use a passport, or you can use a Nexus Pass.
So you
which
don't
is,
need a passport to get into Canada now? If
No,
you
you
have a
don't
real
need a
ID?
pass.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can use as a U.S. citizen, you can use a real ID. Okay.
But,
if you're if you're not a U.S. citizen, then I believe you have to use a passport. It was quite interesting when my son and his wife and my grandson traveled from the U.S. up to Canada on their recent trip. He has two passports. He has New Zealand because he's a citizen there, and a U.S. passport because he's a citizen here. And he had planned on using his New Zealand passport going to Canada instead of the U.S. passport because of all the things going on, between Canada and the U.S. And he had to use his U.S. passport to go into Canada, which I thought was interesting. But if you're a U.S. citizen, I believe you can use your passport. You use your passport. You can use the real ID identification, or you could use a Nexus Pass. Those are the three that I know of.
Yeah, I think it might have been around 2009, 2010 where you required a passport, because when we first went to Canada in around 2002, I think it was basically just your driver's license. And you'd go there, you'd hand them your driver's license. Sometimes they'd pull you to the side, have you pop the trunk, and
Yep.
that's it. So, and they'd send you on your way. So
There's, I think you can use the global entry one too, but the three I mentioned are the ones I know for sure you can use, because I've never used my driver's license because I've always had a Nexus or a passport. So I don't have a driver's license with real ID. Like traveling recently, I just use my passport or my Nexus Pass.
I know this may be a
Well-
naive,
John,
sorry.
McGee.
Recently, New York City, cruise port, both going on the ship and coming back into the United States. Facial recognition. You walk up to this camera thing, it looks at you and says, green light. And coming back, it detects your credit cards. So if I bought my wife a Rolex watch, it says go to check-in. Otherwise, they just
Interesting.
let you blow right back into America. Facial recognition technology at the New York Harbor Terminal.
there's no hiding any longer.
So it's like, instead of opening your trunk now, they just put it through that. Like, they put your face through that, where they used to search to see if you're
Oh, I
smart.
asked the guy about why, suppose I bought my wife a Rolex. He says, your credit card you'd be sent off to that line. It talks to the credit cards too.
Interesting. I just had one quick, oh, sorry.
Yeah, the facial recognition is still voluntary, but pretty much everybody uses it. I used it when I was traveling to New York and then coming back to Florida. They use it both domestically and internationally. When we got off the cruise ship, same thing there with the facial recognition. They're putting that in every place now.
What, can I just ask at night, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Fru.
I just came back from Minnesota yesterday. Facial recognition at the airport there is no choice about that. Everyone stands there, and then when once it picks your, it gets your picture, there's a check mark, and then you go through.
Oh, yeah, the TSA line, right?
Yes.
Wait,
Yes.
I want to know, so you went to Minnesota? How foreign did that seem to you?
Huh?
You went to Minnesota? How foreign did that seem to you?
Well, it wasn't foreign. It's just, well, if you say foreign, it wasn't really foreign per se, as you say. It's like it's traveling local. But I'm just saying that in terms of that foreign this thing, I'm just saying that it's equally good that we also educate our local domestic audience that for whatever is going on, for those Americans who have been traveling around the world, they should see that there's a big change now as to how they are also received at airports around the world. And if you can only stand on any African nation, you see the amount of Westerners pouring in without visa or all that, you will be amazed at how Africa doesn't have any borders from the West, from people coming from the West.
Just reading this text, is there a rumor that, this guy's asking a question, is there a rumor that Alberta or Saskatchewan want to succeed from Canada to the United States? I don't know. Likely there's a rumor that,
I'm not aware of any of that. It always was Quebec that wanted to leave Canada. And they didn't want to go to the United States. They wanted to become their own country.
Yeah. Every time I hear Saskatchewan, I think of that Adam Sandler movie. I forget which one because I've been talking a lot Adam Sandler lately. But it's grown-ups, and the point where they're checking out the women are checking out this guy who looks amazing, and then he comes over and he says, "I'm from Saskatchewan." I know, it's so funny.
Never saw that
And
one.
he sounded like a woman.
Yeah, there's just so many rumors and false things out on the internet now. AI is really muddied up the picture. I mean, you just don't know what to, even your eyes, you don't know what to believe now.
I think that, because I've seen the rumor about Alberta, but I think it's people just poking fun at the system.
She's a nice lady.
But
Yeah.
that brings up, in my mind, the question of Stephen Colbert,
Yup.
who I understand has a late-night TV show.
Yes, and a very good Catholic, by the way.
Did he jump, or was he pushed? Was it politics, or was it economics? Is canceled?
They're saying it's
is show being
economics.
canceled in when, May?
Next May, I think. Yeah, I've never seen his late night show. I used to watch the Colbert Report on Comedy Central. I thought it was a very smart, highbrow show. But when he moved to late night, number one, it's on too late, and number two, it just all the late night shows are the same now. I mean, I agree they do go overboard with some of the Trump attacks. I mean, it gets a little ridiculous, and it's slanted, but you know. Of course, all the MAGA people are triggered by Colbert. I've seen so many things on Facebook with, good riddance and crying tears, and great. You don't agree with them, so they're happy he's gone. So,
Yeah, it comes down to money, guys. I did some diving into this, and they're running a $20 million deficit on that program. So remember, this is all business. And, it's rated okay, but they're losing money on the show. They're not taking enough money in with the amount of staff and all that. They said their budget was like $120 million a year, and they were running like a $20 million deficit. They were paying Colbert $20 million. So, I mean, I don't think that's as widely known, part of the reason why they're taking him off the air, because they're just losing money on it.
yeah, that's what I heard. It was economics, was financial. The network was bleeding money.
Yeah. I heard he had 100 writers.
Oh, I
That just
don't doubt
seemed
it.
disproportionate.
Yeah, that could cost
Okay.
you some money. But yeah, he I mean,
kind of like being city manager, you can hire all your friends.
yeah, he had an
Does that
interesting.
not also mean that the media is the one that fits, or that fits people in this country? People sit behind the tube And when you talk of censorship, there's nothing like watching what is coming out of the TV, because all of us probably sitting here, we produce content. What you watch, they may say live, is what they have conditioned you to watch. And that is why sometimes when you get out of this country, you start talking about international issues. Most Americans, they are clueless because they have been indoctrinated with what someone is seeing the world through their own eyes, and we sit and believe it, that what comes out of the tubes is real. And that is the worst miseducation and conditioning of people's thinking. And when you think out of that circle, they label you name liberals, conservative, and when once you start seeing someone talking and giving you all these adjective qualifications, know that that person is reducing your own mentality, your own mind to the control version.
Yeah, I agree with you, Fru, on that. I mean, people, they watch one station, and that's all they watch. They don't look at other things like, and with the streaming services nowadays, you can see so many different things if you choose to do it. I mean, you got Fox, CNN, Newsmax, NBC, you got Al Jazeera, BBC. I mean, there's so many different places you can get news from, and people tend to just, watch one station. And don't forget, whether it's CNN or Fox, those are the two big ones, they're businesses. I try to tell people, I said, they're going to put on what they think is going to draw the most people to them. Not what necessarily is good for people to know. It's what they think is going to generate their business.
Right, and like you said, most people want to watch programs that agree with their point of view.
I'm going to read these two texts on Steve Colbert.
There.
Follow the money. He's never been funny.
He has been. He's funny.
Page 2, I've noticed an uptick of the Border Patrol agents both in the sky and in vehicle patrolling the Vermont-Canadian border. That's from Jay. Back to you, Cliff.
Okay.
Also, I just want to have this little side note for you news junkies out there. If you have Comcast, and you write this down, 4405, channel 4405, if you put in your remote 4405, that is Los Angeles news. And you go to 4406, it's Chicago. 4407, it's Detroit. So you just keep going up, and there's news all across Austin, Texas. It's really, really nice, live news, middle of the day. So if there is I started to do it when there was a shooting down in Austin, Texas, and I went to the Austin, Texas local TV station. So pretty good. It's 4405, and just look in your channel guide that tells you all the different cities it covers. Thanks. Back to you, Cliff.
Okay. So, New York City mayoral race, has that attracted any attention? The race is the election's on 4 November, and the Democratic nominee is State Assemblyman Zoran Mamdani, who beat former Governor Cuomo for the nomination.
And he wants to build city-run grocery stores and take over utility companies, saying it'll cost taxpayers $10 billion a year.
Why doesn't he just hire RDT, who's out of a job right now?
What's going on with that? Can you break it down as simple as possible for me? Because I keep seeing the headlines, but I've been busy, so I really haven't had a chance to sit down and read.
It's a family feud. I'm staying out of it. I think pretty soon we'll be shopping across the street. Why is Greg Gutfield doing good?
Oh, on Fox News. My mother can't stand him.
Oh, he's a clown.
I don't
He's a
watch
clown.
that.
But Fox is a popular network.
Yeah.
Look at more than,
Every time, I think he's on or was on at the 5 o'clock hour, and my mother will be like, can you just put it on local news? I can't stand this guy.
Your mother's very perceptive. Your mother's very perceptive.
So, it's the sisters against Artie.
Oh, I get that, yeah.
And just like the last time, it's a family feud.
It's just so sad because RDT's been so good to so many.
Exactly.
And I think that you have to look at it from a community standpoint aspect to see, I get family dynamics get messy and complicated at times, but what RDT has done for all of us in keeping prices lower. I mean, even in 2014, when he actually had all the control, he gave everybody 10% off for the rest of the year, their grocery order, which is huge. And you can't beat the prices at Market Basket, honestly.
Well, the rumor is that Artie's gonna buy Hannaford,
Right? I like it.
Interesting.
and he's
And-
gonna rename it Demoulas.
Huh?
I
like
love
it.
I love it. But,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I think the telling sign about this with Mamdani is Jeffrey, Schumer, none of them have endorsed him yet. Hocho, who's the governor, none of them have endorsed him yet. So, I mean, if he was going to be so good, they would have come out right away and endorsed him. And you have to look at the people who voted, too, in that primary. So it'll be interesting what happens on that. The problem is you got, you got people running like the current mayor, and you got too many candidates running, and they'll split the vote, which means Mamdani might get enough votes to be mayor.
Yeah, too many retreads running. I mean, it's a hard sell with a lot of his radical views. Especially the accusations that he's Muslim / communist / socialist.
He is Muslim.
Right. Okay, but
Yeah.
then people say, well, he's a communist. No, he's a radical socialist. The fact is, if he's gone through the process and he took out papers and ran and people voted for him, that's the American way. If he wins,
It is.
Well, New York City's got to say, if they elect him, then you get what you get.
Yeah.
Don't whine about when things happen. But I mean, it's just, he's talking about giving everything away, and that's fine for politicians to use other people's money until there's not any left. And I mean, New York City, defund the police. They want social workers to come and deal with somebody in domestic violence. I mean, you got to have people that are trained and it's not just talking to those people. If there's violence happening, you may have to handle that. Police officers are trained for that. It's just it's the same old ideas that I've been hearing over and over again there.
now he's on the record as defunding the police.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's an issue that a lot of people should have a problem with. I mean, it's ridiculous. You can't ask social workers to go into dangerous situations, try to mediate something like that.
Yeah.
And that's the big problem. I mean, I always say, well, I live in Massachusetts, I don't live in New York, so I don't really care what happens there, which is true. But, I mean, at least people like Schumer are backing off him because the Democrats won't be as successful in the midterms as people think they're going to be, and they won't reclaim the White House in 2028 if they keep embracing radical, I won't even say socialist, I'd say maybe woke or progressive ideas.
Well, the telling sign is that Jeffries from the House, he's the minority leader,
Right.
sat down with them. And it's come out of that discussion that he's saying, hey, we're concerned about what you're talking about because we want to win the House back. You do this kind of stuff, there's collateral damage to the rest of the party with somebody like this running, especially if they're endorsing them. That's just like giving a gift to the Republican side.
Yeah.
That they can use this. So.
And of course his views on Israel too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a large Jewish population in New York. I mean, you're not going to get that vote, that's for sure.
And they said that a lot of the people were voting for him were college-educated people with good jobs, and I just don't understand that thinking because basically what they're doing is they're saying, hey, we want this guy and let him give everything away for free. So that means that I want to take more of my hard-earned money and give it away in taxes to New York City? I mean, already people are paying enough because in New York, not only do you pay state taxes, but in New York City, if you work or live there, you pay an additional city tax, New York City tax on your you have to fill out a form for. So now you're talking about paying even more money.
Yep.
A
Once
wage
again,
tax.
yeah, and he has
Fru,
nobody running against him.
Fru, you got any thoughts on this?
Well, this is just politics. Like I said, he who controls the media controls the narrative. People who are talking, they want just the status quo.
Look it up.
They want just the
President's coming
status
soon.
quo. And when someone comes with novel ideas, the status quo is shaken. They use the media. They will give this. When you start hearing people talk about radical, he is a liberal, he is a socialist, he is a Muslim, he is all this. Those are the code words that they want to maintain the status quo. America advances because America opens to technology, to new innovative ideas. And once they use the media to deceive the people, in the end they get what they get, and if it is not providing, you see they continue the same narrative. It is the money that is the election in this country, it is said that. And once they use this money, they label people. And if you want to kill a dog, give a dog a bad name so that you can kill it. We have seen that happen. And once you are left with what you have, you start dealing with it and say, oh, had I known, it is gone. So when you listen to those code words, a liberal, radical, just know that it is the same repetition of what they are using the media to keep on brainwashing the people. And if the youths are coming out and voting for this young man, because the youth doesn't listen to the mainstream media, they have the cell phones and everything that they can use to understand what is going on currently. But the old established system, they use these words to scare the population. That is what is going on.
Yeah, I think that's very insightful, Fru. I think too many labels are put on people. I mean, but I think it's on both sides. I think a lot of the people on the right get labeled too unfairly. But I mean, when you talk about Democrats, a lot of times you'll hear the word communist thrown around, just as a scare tactic, and that's not fair.
So running in the race, besides State Assemblyman Mahoney, we have, of course, Eric Adams, the current mayor, who's running as an independent. The Democrats made him feel uncomfortable. He dropped out of the party. Also independent, Andrew Cuomo, infamous for sexual misbehavior, which caused him to resign. And the Republican candidate that no one's ever heard of, Curtis Sliwa.
Oh, people have heard of him. He used to be the head member of the Guardian Angels that used to work the subways in New York.
True.
So yeah, I mean, he's a known.
Involved with them. He's still involved.
Is
I've
he?
seen him
Okay.
on interviews. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but to my point earlier, I mean, I said he's running against no one, the candidate, the Muslim candidate. What I meant was there's so many retreads. Where's the fresh new blood, especially in the Democratic Party? We just don't have it.
We're going to go to break shortly.
When once you say a Muslim candidate, that is a code word that you are sending out there.
I'm going to read this
Right,
text.
but he is-
Agreed.
I'm going to read this text whether you like it or not. The mistake the Democrats made was getting rid of David Hogg. He had a good influence on the younger generation. Thank you.
Possibly.
Going off to break land. We'll be back. Thank you.
Besides State Assemblyman Mahoney, we have, of course, Eric Adams, the current mayor, who's running as an independent. The Democrats made him feel uncomfortable. He dropped out of the party. Also independent, Andrew Cuomo, infamous for sexual misbehavior, which caused him to resign. And the
realize it's Thank
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to City Life Show. I'm Cliff Krieger, your host. Eileen Delrossi is my co-host. We have John Curtis here of Methuen, previously of Adorable Dracut, and
Delightful.
before that, Lowell.
Yep, Pawtucketville.
Sunday, they said Adorable.
Sunday?
Yeah,
Where?
the column.
I'll have to talk to Melanie about this. It's delightful drinking. It's adorable Andover.
And we have Mike Smith. So,
Is Fru with
Eileen,
us still? No?
what?
Is Fru still with us? No?
Fru has gone off
He has
to
gone, okay.
save the world.
I got you.
Eileen,
We just got Mike.
Cliff,
Yeah.
Karen,
Karen. Oh, well, we were just talking about delightful Dracut. Did you hear about the grand juror who got in trouble for leaking information from
was she
Dracut?
from Dracut?
Yeah, because it's crazy, but Newton, oh wait, what am I thinking of? But it's Middlesex County. Where do they collect grand jurors from? Because if that,
Dracut's in Middlesex County.
right, and if the grand jury was like compiled from Norfolk County, why would somebody from Dracut in Middlesex County be on the grand jury?
Federal.
So it's federal, so they can pull anybody.
It's federal.
Yes, but so is that how it works, Cliff? So they can, it has to be in Massachusetts, right? But they can pull from any county?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my colleagues is a frequent flyer on the grand jury, and so he's giving me a lot of insight on how that works.
How do you get to be a frequent flyer on a grand jury? I've never even heard of it.
He's likable, and they keep records,
Oh.
and they say, this guy, he's good, let's get him back in. So that's my guess.
I thought it was random.
I would have hoped it was random too,
Yeah.
but apparently there's some question about that. All right, so tell us about this person. Leaked the grand jury?
Leaked details about the grand jury information to somebody, but nobody really knows who exactly it was. There are some rumors that it could have been Aiden Carney, Turtle Boy, but I mean, a grand juror could be you, me, anybody, right? And from what I understand, a grand jury is only a day to do an indictment, and most grand juries indict a ham sandwich, right? From what everybody's saying. So I just feel so bad for this person because this case has just been never relenting, honestly. And for this girl now to have a federal indictment, I think it's, a little over the top, but
With that, Cliff, you're going to delve into the other salaciousness that happened the other day at the Coldplay concert?
Well, I didn't
that on
think
your
those
list?
two were connected. But
Well, it is a little salaciousness combined with celebrity, combined with
tell us
legal.
about the Coldplay concert.
Well, do you want to go?
what I don't understand what the astronomer company does and why
Software.
software. So this guy is the CEO. So they caught him on the kiss cam. I don't even know his name. I know the girl's name.
Andy Byron.
Andy
He's
Byron.
the CEO.
And Kristen Colbert or something.
Yeah,
To that effect?
he tendered his resignation the other day, which was basically a nicer way of saying you're fired. He gave him an out.
Yeah, so they were caught. One of the Coldplay singers says, "Oh,
And-
look at
and
how
who
cute
was
you
she?
are. Are you guys having an affair or what?" And like both of them ducked down, but both this CEO male is married with kids, and so isn't the woman married with kids. So it kind of blew up
Oh,
their
she's
whole
married
world.
with kids too?
Yeah, the question I posed to Cliff when we were going over the notes for today is, should the company have fired him? Do they have a right to fire him?
Well, he had just given her a huge promotion too.
Well,
So
yeah.
I think with that, I mean, you're obviously seeing what's going down, and it's just so sad. And from a mom with only one kid, I like to sneak away more than anybody, but I would never I don't understand how people can do that, and it's so selfish and destroys.
In the old days, we would suggest he betrayed his wife.
Yeah.
Right, which
He-
isn't
he
anything
coveted
new.
thy neighbor in human resources.
How
She
ironic.
ran human
All I
resources.
can say is you can't fix stupid.
I was gonna say, somebody said, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and,
Yeah,
look,
I mean,
I think the company was in the right, I mean, if they wanted to let him go. I mean, he is representing the company, but,
He is her supervisor.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Is he a nationally known figure?
No.
Too? Oh, all right. I guess I've never heard of
he
it.
is now.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And we're talking, was it a Gillette Stadium?
Yeah.
It was in Boston.
No, it was at Gillette.
I would
Sure.
guess,
So the capacity of that place, I'm sure they thought, nope, we're safe. No one's going to see us here in the sea of 70,000 people. And hey, technology today, you're always not too far from a camera's eye. And
What I'm
my guess
interested-
is the company that he works with, the sisterhood rose up and said, get rid of him.
Yeah.
That's
And
my guess.
I'm wondering
The sisterhood.
also what lies they told their spouses where they were. That's interesting to
the
me.
coworkers knew too. I mean, you saw the girl in
Oh,
the
with
shot
the
with her
big
face
smile?
red. She knew.
She
knew
said-
they were just.
I don't know if what I was reading is true or not, but they said that she actually is the one that set him up for that. I don't know if that's true.
I doubt it.
But there's so much, like you were saying earlier, there's so much that are AI generated. I got so excited yesterday because I was going through my Facebook feed and I saw Pretty Woman 2 with Richard Gere, Julia Roberts, and they had a little girl, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to go see this. My friend was like, that's AI, right? Why would people do that?
But back to this. It'd be like the principal having an affair with a teacher.
It happens in Lowell Public Schools.
Should not happen.
It happens. And then the principal and the wife divorce, and then the teacher and her husband, or vice versa, divorce, and then they end up together, and nobody ever talks about it. But it's
Also-
a thing. It happens
Well-
all the time.
I'm sure two things can happen from this. If they both get divorced, hey, they've got all the time they want to be together. I mean, maybe it's a real connection. And in today's day and age that they're going to parlay this into something, reality TV show or something to make bucks.
Who was it was Good Afternoon America? Who were those two people who were caught?
I finally got the video
There you
up
go.
here from YouTube.
Oh, it's after.
After 5,500 ads go by.
He ducks. She turns. That's how.
Drop. Yeah.
There's so many funny things on
Now it goes back to more ads, sorry.
the Cowardly Lion pushing the Tin Man over.
Yeah.
I've seen so many funny things on Twitter or TikTok, whatever.
Trump
That
and Musk.
yeah.
Now,
I mean, it's unfortunate, but I call it karma,
Bill and
right?
Monica.
I believe everything is karmic, right? And what you put out there, you get back. And I feel like, it's not good for anybody, but they need to digest this and figure out what's going on, because it's really not fair for anyone in that situation. The kids especially, and the wives and the husbands.
John makes a point, John McDonough makes a point from time to time that you have supervisors and subordinates in relationships that don't include marriage, and that seems to be passed over by the HR people. But those kinds of superior-subordinate relationships are wrong, I think.
Yeah, when I first started teaching at Lowell Community Charter School, I was assigned a mentor who decided he wanted to mentor me in life and men as well, and then we ended up in like a 2 or 3 year relationship. I mean,
Alrighty.
Well, a lot of companies nowadays, if you're in a relationship with a coworker, you have to go to HR and you have to document it. So,
Yeah.
and they have policies like if you're in a supervisory position over that person, they don't allow it, or if possible, they would transfer that one of the people into a different department, depending on how big the company is. But a lot of companies now have policies, and I'm only assuming, but this is the head of HR. I would think that she would know that that's not something that's condoned by the company, So
Right.
Yeah, if anybody's a
it's
fan
kind
of,
ironic.
if anybody's a fan of the show The Office, they taught us that. It seemed every relationship that happened in the office, they had to go to Toby Flenderson and disclose their relationship and sign something to say they were in a relationship. But it's a big difference when you're in charge and that person is under you, no pun intended.
I
So
got 2 texts from Jay. The kids will be the ones who suffer, and if they cheat once, they'll do it again. Just another example of why destruction of American family is happening, Jay.
oh please, that's been going on forever. Forever.
yeah,
Men-
People have been doing this for a long, long
Men
time.
will cheat,
Yes.
women
Not
will cheat.
anything new at all. I mean,
Right.
we're talking hundreds of years, 1,000 years ago that people are doing this.
And it's a double standard too. If a man cheats, he's a dog. He's only interested in sex. He doesn't think with his brain. And if a woman does it, it's usually because it's an emotional need. She's not getting what she needs
no, not in
emotionally
an
from her
Irish
man.
Catholic household. In an Irish Catholic household,
Well,
the boy can do whatever he wants, and the girl is the bad one. I'm learning.
Oh, exactly.
But since they introduced no-fault divorce and people found it easy to walk away, I think that's when we got it. The motivation to try and kiss and make up has been diminished.
Yeah, well,
Well, there's 2 sides to that also. I mean, a lot of time, when they didn't have no-fault divorce, there was a lot of women, especially stuck in marriages where there was abuse and all kinds of bad things going on, and they didn't have any options. So, I mean, that's the other side of the coin why they went to no-fault divorce, because people were stuck in things that were unsafe for them, actually.
Yeah, I actually texted that in on Friday. A woman shouldn't have to stay in an abusive relationship with her husband. I said that's how a lot of them end up dead. I mean, you want to stay for the kids, you want to stay to make things right, but in the end, if a woman is being a victim of spousal abuse, even emotional abuse, hey, it's nice to try and work things out and maybe see a marriage counselor, but if things aren't working out, you just have to walk away.
Well, it's not just the wife. Kids are
husband.
very smart.
Yeah.
They know what's going on, probably quicker than the 2 adults even realize it.
Yeah.
So the kids are the ones also that suffer quite a bit.
Yep.
The story I like to tell about this is, this is probably 20 years ago. I'm interviewing this lady. She's pre-planning her funeral. And I tell her, look, there's certain questions I have to ask because the state wants the answer. It goes on your death certificate when the time comes. I said, now you're married, never married, widow, divorced. She says, let me tell you something about that blessed sacrament. So I knew this gal did not have a good marriage. And she says, when they invented that blessed sacrament, people only lived to be 40.
I love that. It's funny. We were actually talking about, we went to Funtown Splashtown this past weekend.
What is it called?
Funtown Splashtown. It's in Saco, Maine.
Oh,
My friend
nice.
had some free tickets that she gave to us, and
Good.
it was actually a great time. The kids had a blast, and so I went with one of my girlfriends and her kid, and so we're driving home, and the kids were talking about like marriage and so forth, and my my friend said to the kids, you know, if you legally live with somebody for 7 years, you're officially married. I said, not according to my friend John McDonough. That's not real in Massachusetts, because you see what happens when people think that they're actually legally married and then they get to the end of the road and find out that there's nothing legal.
That's right.
Yeah, there's not common law marriage. It's in Canada. That does happen, that if you're together for a certain amount of time, they look at you as legally married because you're cohabitating in the same home, residence and that. But there's very, very few states in the United States, and I can't name them, that would have common law marriage. But I know, like Massachusetts, New York, all them, Florida, none of them have that.
So one of my friends was actually
Just reading the text real quick. Cheating and divorce seem to be a lot higher now than I was a kid in the 70s. I respectfully disagree. I think the level's the same.
I think, John, the cheating definitely has been going on. The divorce rate may not have been as high in the 70s before they started with no-fault divorce.
Well, the issue that the society just keeps ignoring is we don't get married. I saw a guy get arrested in Chicago who has 37 children with 11 different women. And they're like, wow, how do we let this happen? There's 37 kids missing a dad.
Oh my word.
And it's, in America, what do you want us to do?
I wonder what his child support would be.
You just stop subsidizing it. Find a way to stop subsidizing 37 kids.
And it's not just about finances, too. You get someone like Tyreek Hill, the wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins, professional sports athletes. They just sleep with different women. They have kids. I mean, sure, they can take care of the kids financially, but raising a kid is more than throwing money at the kid. I mean, even someone like Elon Musk, he's got what? He's up to 14, 15 kids now with 4 or 5 different women.
9 or 10, maybe.
Yeah, no,
How is that
it's higher
okay?
than that. It's
How is
not
that okay?
It's not.
Yeah.
You should be chastised.
Yeah, well.
So let's go back to,
So can I
Trials.
just say one more
Eileen,
thing?
drag the mic to you, please.
So I learned this from Ancestry DNA, that men used to have affairs on their wife all the time when they would be on a ship coming over to America, or they would come over before their
What
families.
do they have on their wife?
An affair, like
Oh, I
cheating on
got
them
you.
with somebody on the ship.
Because they're
right?
away from their wife for a long period of time.
Yeah, okay.
Men have needs.
Men have needs, yes.
so,
Yeah, you know.
so let's go back to trials. Are we going to find the Nora Nelson trial to be as exciting?
Nora Nelson, I'm not familiar with this case.
She's the one, 24 years old. She had a 65-year-old boyfriend, a romantic relationship,
40-year difference.
and she managed to stab him 67 times.
That's a way to get out of a relationship.
It is.
Yeah. They weren't married. Were they married?
No.
No.
Oh, and she strangled his dog.
Oh, what happened to the dog?
She's a real
died.
cutie pie.
I find that more offensive.
I think this girl should have been not functioning in society.
And it doesn't go to trial until the 1st of June of next year.
Where did this happen?
Charlestown?
Well, speaking of trials, Cliff, it came out in, I think, in today's Lowell Electronic Sun, that the state's looking to hire more judges
Yes.
because of the backlog of trials that don't have lawyers. Excuse me, stupid state. Vanna, are you listening, Vanna? Why don't you settle up with the lawyers? Pay the lawyers what their value is, and let's move on. Well, it's not the... I'll just change the channel.
I believe it's called the La Valley Law, where a lot of people, a lot of criminals could potentially get off because they weren't afforded an appropriate public defender in a certain
What's Tara
amount
Hung
of
going to
time.
do about it?
No, it's not good. Listen,
Both
there's
are not, honey.
somebody else going to trial today, and they're calling in disgraced former trooper Michael Proctor and Adam Lally, the lawyer from the first Karen Reed trial.
Now, is there any correlation in this story, the age difference in them, or people making an issue of that? He's
Not
what,
that I know.
65 and she's what?
24.
24.
That's still not as bad as Bill Belichick's age difference between him and his girlfriend.
What's the age difference?
He's 74 and she's 24. Maybe just turned 25.
Let's not forget about Rob Kraft.
Yeah, well,
Rambling man.
yeah,
Are we discriminating against older people here?
not at all. I
this
am
discrimination?
an older people, so
You have
no.
money, you can get away with anything.
Well, and both Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick's wives passed away, right?
No,
Robert Kraft's wife, I thought.
she did,
She did.
Myra, and his only crime was stupidity, I think. I mean, he went to a massage parlor and a strip mall,
Because he had needs.
and he has,
Men have needs.
Why
well,
would he
he's
have
got all that money just
a
to
living?
have
I don't know the man, but the other rumor is he had a live-in girlfriend waiting for him back in Florida.
Who's that, Kraft? Or
Yeah.
Belichick? Kraft? Hey,
So I'm going to do the
good for
announcements.
him.
And so if you want an announcement on City Line, just send me a text. We'll be happy to put it out there. Every Friday, they have this farmers market. And this started way back in June. I have an argument with my friend Gary Francis about this. But it started in June. But it's going to go through October. Every Friday, 2 to 6 p.m., they have a farmers market at 350 Dutton Street in Lowell. Think about heading over there. Page 2. Today is July 21. So July 21 means at the Lowell Senior Center they have stir-fried chicken stir-fry with rice. Yummy, not my cup of tea, but maybe it's yours. Don't know. St. Varnets, they're going to have a picnic coming up August 3rd. That's out in charming Chesford. Great group of people. Their food is to die for. They're going to have shish kebab, lash kebab, all yummy stuff. So that's, for more information, go to stvartnets.com. Moving right along, the Tingsboro Block Party. That's coming up in about a month, August 23rd, from 11 a.m. until the fireworks at dusk. That's always a good party. So if you're hanging around that week, that's great. And the folk festivals this weekend, I'm going to ask Tom Bommel to find out about the buses where you can hop on the free bus and at your house and see if you get a ride downtown. Don't bother parking. Pretty cool idea. I'm going to ask Tom to do it. I'll email Tom now.
The folk festival is looking for volunteers to carry buckets to collect money. You can reach out to the folk festival.
Speaking of the chicken stir fry, I saw an interesting meme the other day on Facebook that, people say that everything, they'll describe something as, well, it tastes like chicken. The one thing that really doesn't taste like chicken is eggs, and you'd think that would be the one thing that would taste more like
I'm
chicken.
going to back the bus up just a minute here, kids. Sorry, I just got a text. What about Chelmsford's lunch? Okay, so today, out in charming Chelmsford at the Senior Center, they have shrimp scampi over linguine, mixed vegetables, and applesauce. Thank you for the reminder. Back to you guys.
Okay, so over the weekend I went to see Superman.
Oh,
Has anybody seen Superman?
No interest.
not yet. We're waiting for pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about it.
I thought it
Pretty
wasn't that good. I thought that it was too busy. They had too many other super characters involved, and there wasn't much time to develop the relationship between Superman and Lois Lane. So, yeah, I didn't, but it did raise a couple questions in my mind. Is Superman an illegal immigrant?
He's from Kryptonite.
It's an alien.
Didn't we talk about this Friday or something? I feel like we had this.
Well, I mean, I
Superman's
read
not
your
real,
article,
you know that,
I
right?
read your
was gonna
stuff on
say.
that, Cliff, and technically, since he wasn't born in the U.S., he didn't file paperwork. I mean, technically, he is an illegal immigrant. I
was
mean, if you want to look at it strictly black and white, he really is an illegal immigrant.
I was going to say, above all, he's a fictional character.
But Mike, how do you
yeah.
know?
Oh, I know.
How do you know that when he was flying through the skies that he didn't fill out all that paperwork? We don't know, because he works so quickly, and he is a fictional character, so we could make anything happen here.
Now,
Taking it a step further, because he works for the Daily Planet, he had to have a social security number.
Yeah, he has a job. Exactly. He's legal.
He was here legally, because newspaper would hire somebody.
Why is having a social security number an indication that he's here legally?
Anybody can get one of those, right?
Well, no. You have
Asked
to.
and answered.
Now, in this movie, is Superman black?
No.
Is he woke? I heard it was a
Do
very
you watch
woke...
any video at all, John? What a silly question.
Why is that a silly question? In this movie, from what I've read online, that there's a lot of pushback from the right and the conservatives because they say it's a very woke movie, just like the Snow White movie was. Is that any
No, it's not like Snow White.
They
Okay.
just dropped the American way, because Superman is an international character.
Don't get ahead of the script, John.
I
Okay.
didn't see the script.
In the movie, Lois Lane looks around Clark Kent's childhood bedroom, and she
Yes.
sees athletic trophies. Now, should Superboy have been participating in high school sports?
We just went like 50 Shades of Grey, right? With Lois Lane being in Clark Kent's bedroom, right?
Childhood bedroom?
Childhood.
It was not 50 Shades of Grey.
If you look at the original Superman and you see the early movies, he did not participate in the sports because his father, his adopted father, said it would be unfair. So
Which is accurate.
They've already changed that to the originals, and because that as far as the advantage, yes, he has kind of an unfair advantage, but in the original movies, he did not participate in all those activities because his father had said it was, would have been unfair.
My early remembrance of Superman is the television show with, Christopher Reeves in the movie, but wasn't the actor who played Superman in the TV show, his last name also Reeves?
Yes.
And he killed himself?
Yeah.
That's my early recognition, but...
So they've changed things from when the originals came out, because that was not the way in the originals as far, that he had all these trophies and that, because, his adoptive father. And then back to what Eileen was saying earlier about filling paperwork out, and of course we're discussing fictional characters. In the original one, it was in the middle of Kansas or whatever, and it was back in, back years ago, before all the modern technology and tracking everything now. They just adopted him, and people filled out the paperwork, and that was all, as far as him being having a social security number, that was, all done easily back then. So, we're talking again about a fictional character. I realize that.
Was Jimmy
But,
Olsen in this
if you
movie?
start looking at all the little points, things were done differently. Superman did not grow up in the 90s or 2000s or whatever, any of that. This was, years and years ago.
Yeah, quite a bit of naivety, too. For those people around him not to know that Clark Kent was really Superman took a little bit of a stretch. Well, it was kind of obvious.
To Mike's point, one of my earlier relatives,
I'm going to read this from the bottom up after Cliff does his point.
Duffy was a conductor on a railroad passenger train, and one day he found a little infant in the carriage. The child was black. So he picked him up, took him home, and gave him to a farming couple that he knew, Amish. So later, my Uncle Dick was sparking my Aunt Edra at the time, and he was lost, and he stopped by this field where there's this black guy, and he asks him a question about how to get to where he was going. And like any good Amishman, he spoke like an Amishman and probably looked on my uncle as just another Englisher. But he got totally integrated into that community. Who knows where he was from?
Thanks,
Could have
Cliff.
been from Canada.
Moving right along to the text.
All right, how does Eileen feel about Alan Jackson's?
No, from the bottom up.
All right. John, over the weekend, I got a 2-minute clip of Luke hosting the show. Is he up? Can he come and liven up the show?
My grandson Luke, all of a sudden, he says to his grandmother, I want to be on TV. I want to go in the studio. So he comes running in here. Nana says, can you put him on YouTube? And I'll send it to his mother. His mother's, his mother works for JetBlue, so she was flying something, but she can watch
Oh, that's awesome.
YouTube. So, okay, sure. So I put him up on YouTube and he just did like top 30 seconds and he was gone. So I'm glad you
That's
caught that
awesome.
clip. Thank you.
And I heard, I met Danny Finn the other night at Sean McDonough's party, and I met his campaign manager, Nora, and I heard she was on the show.
Yeah.
That Monday he was
She
here.
did a great job.
She's
Nora's
great.
fantastic. So read the middle one.
He did go under the name Clark Kent. Okay. And how does Eileen feel about Alan Jackson, Karen Reed's lawyer, new client? His name is Fraser Baum, out in California. He killed 4 college women from Pepperdine crossing the road to see the sunset. He hit them going 100 miles per hour, allegedly. He comes from a lot of money. He does come from a lot of money. I do know that. And from what I know about Alan Jackson,
Country
he
singer.
must really believe that something else, there were other dynamics. From what I heard, it was more of he was trying to get away from a road rage incident. I mean, this story is just so tragic. Four young college students, like, you know, nobody's really innocent in this situation.
I don't know if you heard last week I had to get out of Virginia for a burial. So I had to bring the casket down there from here. And Maryland, I use an app called Waze. Maryland thinks there's a speed camera ahead. And I see all the brake lights come up on the cars, so we all slow down for the speed camera. On my way back, I saw mounted on the front bumper of a state police cruiser 4 cameras. So I'm glad that Maryland is experimenting, if not implementing, electronic ticketing. And the government has a responsibility to invest in electronic ticketing. And as I tell state reps that are kind enough to visit us, when you finally do adopt electronic ticketing, it shouldn't touch my insurance until I get the 3rd ticket. The 3rd ticket for the year, 3 strikes, they're going to tell the insurance company.
Yeah.
Electronic ticketing should be implemented in Massachusetts. Obviously, it doesn't work in California.
Yeah.
They just had a law go into effect in Florida, July 1st, that if you're exceeding 100 miles an hour or more, you get ticketed. There's jail sentences involved with it. I just saw the article that they did recently arrest somebody, and there's minimum jail sentences now
Mike,
in
it
Florida
reminds me
for excessive speeds.
Reminds me of Massachusetts law: if we catch you with a gun, first time, you're going to jail for a year. Never happened. And I'm going to guess the same thing's going to happen in Florida. They won't enforce it.
No, we see that a lot with automotive accidents. I don't think enough people go to jail for drunk driving or reckless driving. They think,
Drunk driving, what they should do is tow your car to a place where they make it into a cube, crush the car, and say, well, I still owe for that car. Yeah, we know.
eh,
Too bad. Drunk driving. Goodbye, car.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to share a story since you just reminded me of something. I took Anthony on a road trip a couple of years ago, and we went down to Washington, D.C., and we're going through all these Easy Pass signs, everything, and I realized I don't even have an Easy Pass. What am I doing? So when we were coming home, I stopped in Delaware at the Easy Pass place and got one and, like, fixed everything. But I was like, oh my God, am I going to get arrested?
Now they just read your plate. Now there's electronically read your plate.
Right, I get those often, like especially if I bring someone into Logan Airport, but that was before I had the Easy Pass, but. so-
Did Anthony like Washington, D.C.?
Yeah,
Did you go to
he
the
did.
White House?
We did drive by the White House. It's so unique because you wouldn't, from seeing pictures, you wouldn't think it was such in a district-y area, like,
Yeah.
because it's kind of set back, but
Yeah, I went once, and I went to Ford's Theater, and boy, that was 1994. That was so long ago, Cliff. I still have a photo of myself in front of the White House wearing a Rush Limbaugh for President shirt. That's
Washington is a nice
I used to be
business.
conservative.
You worked in Washington for a long time. So
Yeah,
you take, what do they call it, the metros or subway there, the metro?
I drove.
very clean.
What is it called?
I drove.
No, but the underground
Oh.
subway.
the
Oh,
underground.
did I ever take the metro? Yeah, I've taken the subway.
Yeah, spotless.
Because every time I go to DC, I fly into Reagan, and I just use the subway. Fantastic, wonderful time. DC, the best food.
Yeah, I think you take
Always a good time in Washington.
the subway to Arlington Cemetery too, can't you? I know I went there. It was right after Jackie Kennedy passed away, and they
I know it passes by there,
Yeah.
so yeah, probably, yes, there's an Arlington
Right.
stop.
What was I going to say? So my new door dashing career.
Excuse, I just want to say,
Okay.
except Hogate's closed, so the quality of food dropped in Washington.
When
Do-
I do
DoorDash.
my door dashing career in Newton, the area that Anthony goes to school, and it takes me into like Cleveland Circle, Brighton, Brookline, I'm like, get me out of here because I can't stand the subways, the green line, because it makes me so nervous. Like, and I know they have to follow the traffic laws, but that area just, it's not for me.
Okay.
Question comes up, how long before there are cameras at the intersection catching people running red lights? They already are doing this. I get notifications from New York and Washington DC. There's a bus that has my license plate on it with an A, and it says bus, but all the camera reads is my license plate number. So I get an email, no, a snail mail, U.S. mail comes to the office, gets to me and says, look, you gotta straighten this out. So I just call the people in New York or call the people in Washington, and it always goes away. But it is happening. Electronic ticketing in some states is happening at intersections.
Okey doke. John, you made a notice to me about religion in America.
Yeah, I've heard John recently talk about, and I don't know if it was related to U.S. currency, but you talked about that we're in a country that doesn't believe in God anymore, and
It's backed by faith.
right. But actually, in this country, the number is definitely down. But according to the latest polling, 81% of Americans believe in God, as opposed to 51% of Europeans, which I think is a pretty big disparity.
I think so.
I think at one point, maybe 25, 30 years, it was up around 92% in America, but it's now down to 81%. Whether that number continues to dwindle or not remains to be seen. I don't see it going much lower.
No.
I think a lot of people are not as involved with formal religions anymore. So they believe in God, higher being, but they're not like for Catholics attending Mass on Sundays or being part of all the other different religions, whether it's Methodist, Baptist, whatever. I think people believe in a higher being or God, but not tied into formal religions anymore.
I think that's a fair comment.
Yeah.
So, but bringing up a different question, the universe,
That's deep.
we came from the Big Bang,
Right.
and we're expanding and expanding, and eventually we're going to peak out and contract, sort of like a yo-yo, right?
Supposedly. I mean, a lot of people believe that the Creator will intervene before that happens, but being part of the, I guess, the 19% of that poll, I don't see that happening. So I guess at some point, yeah, the sun will burn out. But
As the universe contracts back towards that singularity, at what point does everyone commit mass suicide? That's
I
redundant.
don't know. Yeah,
Can we talk about something brighter?
it's above my pay grade.
Beginning of the week.
Get close to the mic, kid.
It's the beginning of the week, Cliff. Can we talk about something just a little bit brighter? Like,
Well, in 10 minutes, we're coming up light and fluffy.
Yeah. So
Oh, I
let's get the
like light
serious
and
stuff
fluffy.
out of the
Light
way.
and Luffy?
Cliff,
Yeah.
no, sir, it's light and fluffy
Light and
with
fluffy.
an F.
Yes,
It's
as
10 minutes up.
opposed to the expanding universe. Hey, look,
All right.
I don't know what's going to happen. You know, when I say I'm an atheist agnostic, it doesn't mean that I know for sure. I don't know, but I
just
don't
think
think
you're
anybody
crazy,
does.
that's all.
What's that?
We just think you're crazy.
And I think you're crazy too. I've seen a lot of posts where, you know, Jesus is welcoming those
He's
poor
not-
girls that.
You've got
that
nothing
drown.
else to do but troll my Facebook.
I don't
I'm
troll your
sorry.
Facebook. You're on
I'm
my page.
sorry.
I have restrained from actually commenting because I know you don't want me to.
That's true.
But I think it's just as crazy to believe that someone is controlling
Hey, John,
things.
where do you think you were before you were here?
Nowhere. And I wasn't in any pain, and I think that's what's going to happen after you
The energy
die.
that makes you, so energy can be neither created nor destroyed. Would you agree with that or would you disagree with that?
I think it can be destroyed.
Energy can be destroyed. Okay,
Well,
thank you.
Entropy can't be destroyed.
Energy.
Entropy.
And so can, neither can
Part
Plato.
of
Neither can Plato.
energy is entropy.
Neither can Plato.
And I had a thermodynamics textbook where the author halfway through said he believed in God because the world had not turned into entropy.
Let's go around the room, right? We have very intelligent people here. Eileen, what's entropy?
no clue.
Okay. John, what's entropy?
I couldn't give a solid definition of it.
Okay. Cliff, would you explain to the audience what you mean when you use the word empathy? Or whatever the word was.
It's the result of the decay of the use of energy.
Wow, that helped.
Okay.
I think it was Sir
glad I
Isaac
helped.
Newton, one of those geniuses, Einstein. Energy can be neither created nor destroyed. It always has been. So
Yeah.
the energy that makes you
Oh, it's been created.
has always been.
John, can I ask you why you think people like me are crazy that don't believe? Why use the word crazy?
You're an intelligent guy. You've studied anatomy. You think all this came together by accident.
I don't know how it came together.
Well, I'm just saying.
Right,
so
by
that
accident, right.
You think it just happened.
Yeah.
Impossible. Now, the table you're sitting at right there,
Yep.
you know the glass was made at a company.
Yes. It was
And-
designed by
and
someone.
And the supporting part was made by another company. It was delivered here. Mario's Furniture's nice guy, delivered the whole thing, assembled it.
Yep.
It didn't come here by mistake.
Right.
The magnificent human body just happened.
Yeah, it didn't have to be designed by a creationist.
Silly. Crazy.
Well, why do
I
you
would
believe in
stretch that
why do you believe
crazy.
in why do you believe in Jesus and not Muhammad?
Muhammad was a hell of a guy.
Yeah,
I
but
picked Jesus. It's like my flavor of ice cream. I like maple walnut.
right. But
It's
will
my
you,
pick.
but most
I picked
people
Jesus to be my savior. You can pick Muhammad if you want to.
No, I don't want-
think
I-
you do.
No, I don't pick anyone. But I think a lot of people are what they are because they were born into it and they were taught that's the way things are. I mean, if you were born like I was into a Catholic family, I was raised a Christian, I received all the sacraments. But as I got older, I did some studying. I, of course, listened to different voices, speakers. And I'm not saying that there is no God. I'm just saying I don't know, but I don't believe it's the God of the Bible because I think the Bible is pretty much a horror story. And, you know, if you were born in Iraq, you'd believe in Muhammad. If you were born in Israel, you'd believe in that the Messiah hasn't come yet. So a lot of it just has to do where, you know.
I believe there's a living God, and that's where I'm going to stick.
Okay.
So, does Cliff cover on this day In 1918, a German U-boat, SMU 156, shelled a tugboat and several barriers off the coast of Orleans, Mass.
No, I did not cover that.
Sorry, we missed that, but he'll get that next year. Thanks for letting us know. And that's, does the panel believe in UFOs? That's a good question.
Is that Greg Pappas? No.
Oh, boy.
Greg
I don't ask who's, if you don't sign your text, I don't know who sent it.
I do believe there's a possibility of UFOs. I believe there's a greater chance of UFOs than there is of an invisible man in the sky. Cliff?
I find it hard to believe we're the only intelligent,
Right.
quote, intelligent beings in the whole universe. I can't believe that we're the only planet that developed life. So it's just, the odds don't run in that kind of favor.
Now, does that make him a Mormon?
Why a Mormon?
They got a good choir.
Because
Lots of wives.
Mormons believe that there are many worlds out there, each with their own savior.
Catholics
I
don't?
think. Thank you. Do I believe in UFOs? I'm sort of the reverse of you. It's a possibility, but less likely than that God exists.
Well, it is what it is. It's an unidentified flying
Eileen,
object. Could be
UFOs?
anything. Do I?
Eileen,
Oh.
UFOs.
I believe there is a greater force out there, and something is going on up in that sky. I don't know exactly what it is, but I admire, like, Greg Pappas, who I know believes in UFOs and those sightings, and I know we get into deep discussions about that at times, and so, yeah, yeah, I do. And a long-rooted.
I believe in UFOs. I also believe in the interdimensionals. Listening to Greg Pappas, and but I believe in both.
But I'm crazy.
Okay, moving right along. Did you guys see where the Draken Health Director, Dave Willett, who's also pretty active in the Lowell community, won $1 million over the weekend?
Oh, that makes me so happy. I love Dave Ouellette.
He was on an all-expense-paid trip to Martha's Vineyard with his wife Lynn, and the state lottery hosted an event on the island in honor of the 50th anniversary of the release of Jaws. If you run Jaws backwards, the shark turns out to be a healing force, returning limbs to people that were missing.
Okay, back to Dave Ouellette. That could not have happened to a better guy. He's done so much for this community. I am so elated for him. I truly am.
So 30 people went on the expense-paid trip, and he got the top prize. But he's a year away from retirement, but he decided, no, he's not going to retire. He's going to see it out to he's not going to retire early.
Yeah, he genuinely, transparently loves what he does. He loves all of that. And
His new Board of Health vehicle will be an Escalade.
So happy for you, Dave.
Congratulations,
Congrats.
Dave. You're a great guy. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Congratulations. We're happy for you.
I guess all these shark sightings off, the coast has kept the movie alive too. That's what, 1976, 77?
50 years,
Yeah.
so 75.
Yeah, wow. I've never seen it start to finish. I've seen parts of it. I just know Richard Dreyfuss with it.
I'm
need to get a
like
bigger
you,
boat.
I've seen
Yeah,
parts. I've
right.
not seen it start to finish. So, McD, did you see where Patricia Hort and Judy Burke tied the knot at Sampa's Pavilion?
They got
Yes,
married?
I did see that. They got married. Congratulations to both of you. Two lovebirds. Congratulations, and may you live happily ever after.
I didn't know they were a couple.
Then they had I didn't either. And then they had a cookout on the South Common for
For the homeless.
everybody around.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations, ladies.
Congratulations.
I'm taking it all in right now, but yeah, good for you guys. You guys do a lot of good out there.
In 4 seconds, we go to light and fluffy.
That was light and fluffy.
Now,
The attorney work stoppage is raising safety issues, fiscal issues. They're talking $100 million shortfall. So,
how's this light and fluffy? So, light and fluffy.
I thought we were going in a good direction, talking about Dave winning $1 million.
So look at if you,
Marriage.
I'll first start the first round with superpowers. Pick 2 superpowers that you would like to have. 2.
2 superpowers. Can I have a minute?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
John, same thing goes, do you think of 2 superpowers that you'd like to have? And Cliff, the same thing goes for you.
I would say 1, being invisible, if you consider that a superpower.
It is.
Yep, invisibility and, well, it's a tough.
We'll come back to you.
Go ahead,
Cliff, you got any
Cliff.
superpowers you want to have?
yeah, I'd like to be able to fly,
Sure.
and I'd like to be able to spell.
Okay, that's nice.
What about you,
Eileen, you
John?
got any superpowers?
I mean, mine would be like to just know the future, be able to predict the future and protect people from harm, like Superman, maybe?
Can't do that.
I know, but so mine aren't good. Mine, they're not realistic because it's just not.
Did you pick 2? I think you just picked 1, and you said mine.
So I would, predictability and the ability to fly so I could see everything.
Yeah,
But that's
that's-
very
I
controlling
was
too.
going to say super hearing, but I
You
think
got-
if
we
you're
got one more,
invisible-
John.
Yes, I guess super hearing. But I guess if you're invisible, you can get as close to anybody as you want. You can hear what they're saying anyways, so.
My pick is that, first of all, to be able to extinguish hatred across the world. Hatred does not exist anymore. I'd like that superpower. And being able to fly, that's pretty cool. Those are my 2.
What about you, Mike? What would you pick?
I would like to do flying, and I'd also like to be able to know what people are thinking, because that would give me an idea how they're doing things and
Well,
whether
mine-
they're good or bad or whatever.
Yeah, mind reading is a good one.
Yeah, like I want to know what that couple on the kiss cam told their significant other when they were going out that night. That would be interesting.
They're in big trouble.
Flying is great because you can get back and forth to places quicker. That's the way I look at it.
I would have said flying,
Grab my
but I hate
suitcase
flying.
and just get there, you know?
I'm not a good flyer.
To add a little bit of positive there, Eileen, I was checking on the Facebook page I'm on for down here where I live in the community. They always put what every day is. Just for your information, today is National Junk Food Day.
Oh.
So you can eat whatever you want, you know, and not have any guilt. But today is National Junk Food Day.
I love it.
Question from the audience. Speaking of light and fluffy, where are the donuts? I've already eaten mine. I had a delicious coconut-covered cream-filled donut, the best donut on the planet, only available at Top Donut.
The Bavarian cream donut Cliff has, that's really a Boston cream donut.
Oh, well, I gotta put you on camera, Cliff, sorry. There's the wrong frame up there. There it is. Beautiful.
It's a weak substitute for Bavarian, right?
It's
we
funny,
do have
I say
donuts.
Bavarian cream every time
So,
I go through, and
I
they
have,
always give me a Boston cream.
I have found in the summer, since I take donuts to my wife, that I have to buy a half a dozen
Why is that?
because they're in a box rather than all jammed together in a bag.
Where do you go?
Tops on top of tops.
Do you share them with the staff?
I go to Dunkin' Donuts, either
Donut check.
on 38 or on up in Drum Hill.
Donut check. Go right out Westford Street, stop at Stevens. Donut check's on the right-hand side.
So I buy my wife 2 French crullers, I buy a Boston cream, I buy a cream-filled donut, and then for Dunnage, I buy 2 plain donuts.
Yeah, I
For
think,
who?
Dunnage,
Dunnage.
yeah.
No one knows what
Fill in
donut
the
is.
space.
Oh, anybody who wants it?
No, it's a half a dozen, so it's in a box. I have 4, and I have to fill in the space with 2 other things.
Plus from the past.
Good talk. I'm glad we talked about this.
I think Dunkin' Donuts is severely overrated.
I
About
think
you,
so.
Eileen?
I honestly, I feel like Dunkin' Donuts kind of making a comeback with their donuts. They look better lately.
A
Kevin,
little closer to the mic. And
Well-
so, donut-wise, what donut do you like best? Do you have a donut that you like?
It would be definitely Top Donut, and they're chocolate frosted with sprinkles.
Okay. How about you, John? Do you have a favorite donut?
yeah, I shouldn't be eating donuts, but apparently I have been. Well, I like, as far as places, Heavenly Donuts I think is great. There's one on 110.
They are
They're run by
delicious.
different. Yeah, there's one in Methuen right down the street from me, but they have some incredible croissants, a glazed croissant, which I never thought I'd like, but it's very good.
That's not a donut.
Yeah, you're right. All right, for a donut, I'd probably go Boston cream.
Wait,
Something
why
like
is a
that.
crawler not a donut?
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
He said croissant.
Croissant. Yeah, it's a glazed croissant.
It's
Croissant.
round,
It-
has
it's
a
an
hole
actual
in the
croissant.
middle?
Not
No,
the
like a
croissant.
croissant. It's like seashell.
Yeah.
See, Cliff's from the past. He doesn't have
Yeah.
these wonderful things.
Hey, actually, this is what I wanted to say. When we went up to Saco, Maine this weekend, we stayed at a Hampton Inn, and I have nothing but great things to say about Hampton Inn. It was a great time. We ended up having one more extra kid, and I asked for a cot, and they told me
Did
no
it
cot.
take you very long to deliver this kid?
I don't know. Extra kid.
Well, it's my son's brother, so I didn't deliver him at all.
Oh,
And so when we got there, they were like, oh, this is Delrossi checking in. We have something for you. And they brought up a cot anyway. And then the next morning, they had the most amazing breakfast. And I don't even like maple sausage, but it looks so good that I was like, I think I like maple sausage now.
So, Cliff,
And a
you want to put your
delicious
donut in there,
breakfast.
then I'm going to go to Mike. What's your favorite donut? You're at the donut store. You seem to want to go to Dunkin', so what's your favorite donut?
well,
Just for
I
Cliff.
want a Bavarian, but I settle for a Boston cream.
Okay. Mike, you got a favorite donut down there in sunny Florida?
Well, we have coffee every Tuesday, and they have donuts and croissants there too. I usually my favorite is
Croissants, I like
usually
that.
a regular donut, chocolate donut with coconut on it. I like coconut on my donuts.
Good choice.
I like that.
Got 2 texts. Cliff, I guess you're making good donations to Eileen Campaign since she stayed for the whole show today. That's from DW.
Well, he's taken the day off because he wants to check out the Parks and Rec, and it's finally a nice day, so I signed him up for Parks and Rec across the street. So he's going to go over there.
And I got
In answer to that question, yes.
2 commenters saying, great show today. So Cliff, we
Oh,
have 2
thank
minutes
you.
left. Is there anything that you want to make sure? Have you been to any exciting place like the Folk Festival? If you make it down to the Folk Festival, what are you going to eat?
I have no idea. I'm not planning on going to the folk festival. I want to know what John thinks about Congress cutting the money to NPR.
Oh, that's not light and fluffy.
No, it's
We
not.
won't have
It
enough
is
time
light and
today.
fluffy.
Yeah. I don't listen to a lot of NPR. I know a lot of the cuts are made
You don't
to
listen to
also
Fresh Air?
to
Fresh
PBS.
Air?
Well, you know, I grew up on PBS. I mean, Mr. Rogers and Sesame Street and the Electric Company. Apparently, they've gone woke or progressive, so that's offended a lot of people.
Look, Kathy's here. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Good
nice to
morning.
see you.
I always listen from the bedroom while I'm having my coffee in the morning.
You should
She
feel
told me
free
she
to
wants apple
intervene.
fritters, so.
Kathy, I love your hairstyle. Looks extra pretty today.
I could use an extra woman.
Blue is apparently the color for today.
Just watch out for that
Thank you.
overhead fan.
You guys have a nice day.
Chirp in anytime,
You too.
Kathy. Girl power.
So
Take
time-
us out, Eileen.
All right. I hope everyone enjoys this beautiful day today. It is finally not humid, and it is absolutely beautiful outside. And we all say goodbye. And vote Eileen Delrossi in November. School committee.
I just can't believe it's
Thanks,
July
Chris. See you tomorrow.
21st.
Bye-bye.
you.